We are on our way to the local Salvation Army to pick up a piece of furniture that I am praying will be there. I'm just gonna go and see what's there. I have no idea what they have. Brought the whole crew. That was a flop. We're off to Goodwill. Okay, I'm really limited. Goodwill and Salvation Army near me don't have anything as far as furniture goes, but I did find these 2 knife blocks, and I think I'm gonna get this one. I think I'm gonna get this knife block. Okay, we ended up with 2 knife blocks. Okay, so I am at home. I've got both of these knife blocks. They were both $3.99. They're basically the same. They're actually the same brand. And I need to clean them for sure. I'll use White Lightning, which is Dixie Belle's furniture cleaner. Well, actually it cleans anything. Before I do that, I want to get my molds going because I want this project to be super fast because I don't have a lot of time with you guys, and it's small, and I want it to be an achievable project. A lot of times we share big projects and I think it overwhelms you guys, so I want to show you how to do something fun that is a drastic difference, and it's something that we all have in the kitchen. And why does it have to be boring and oak? So I'm going to get some molds going. This is a Redesign mold, and I'm going to use this modeling material from Redesign with Prima. It's fairly new, but new to me. So it comes just like this with these rolls inside it, and this is my first time to mess with it. So let's see. Feels so much softer than paper clay. I like it a lot. Okay, so this stuff works really well. I've got my mold down here. I'm just pinching off small amounts and just pushing it into the mold here. Hey guys, this works really well too. It's a paint stripping tool. It's got a really hard, sharp edge. It's just a really hard plastic. And this works even better than the brayer. I just put all my mold on there just like this. It looked like that. It was just, you know, globbed on. And then I just took this and I just started pulling. Just put my fingers behind it and scrape, and it's just scraping all the excess right off it, smoothing it out. Okay, so I've got it all cleaned up on the back side. That's what it looks like, just like that. And like I said, I usually use hot glue and they dry instantly. You just pop them right out. So let's see how this works. You just kind of bend this. This is a silicone mold and it's pliable. You just bend and kind of push with your finger at the same time from the other side. See if this will release pretty easily. I'm gonna put it down on the table. Awesome. You're just kind of rolling it back and letting that mold fall out of there. Okay, look how pretty. Doesn't that look just like cake icing? It's so pretty. Okay, to be honest, I don't have a super clear vision exactly where I'm going with this. I thought that I wanted to lay this on the corner and fold it over the side, and then you tape it in place. Even though we're not gluing it on yet, you want to just put it over the side of it. Put a piece of tape on there so that it can air dry. I use painter's tape, just like this. But now I'm thinking that I like this edge, and I might do one here and then make a second one to come down this side over here. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. And if that's the case, I'm gonna let it dry flat. So, okay. So my molds are done, and can I just say that that is addicting? If I had all day, I could stand out here and make molds all day. So I have an entire board of a bunch of little molds. These are actually the molds. Okay, that happens. They're very durable. These are the molds that they make that you can put on top of your knobs if you want to custom make knobs. But I'm gonna do something different with them. So here's my board full of tiny little flowers. And then this is one of my knife blocks with the molds being formed. I just use my painter's tape to hold the molds in place. I put them on wet, and they're not glued to the board, they're just shaped. I've just got them shaped over the edge because I want it to have a bend. I want it to dry with a bend. You ready? Oh my gosh. I love it. So these are my leaves. This is where the stem and the leaves come up. They wrap around the side here. I've got some coming up out of the top. I've even got some leaves. Now, can you see that they are piled on top of each other and that there's texture? I piled them on top of each other. Isn't that amazing? It's gonna be so beautiful. So this is what it looks like when they're all glued on. Okay, so I am painting now. I'm just dipping my brush, and you don't need any special brush for this. Of course, I'm using my Dixie Belle Mini, but you do what's called pouncing. because this is so layered that you really can't brush over this. So if you just pounce, you'll get it, take it in from all different angles and you'll get good coverage. And look at that. I'm only gonna need one coat. Give it a second. There we go. Look how pretty. See how pretty that is? So I'm working on this soft romantic knife block that I've painted white, and I'm gonna show you real quick. This is what it looks like before I glazed it. Give it just a second. There we go. That's what it looks like. And this is what we're gonna make it look like. Isn't that beautiful? Look how gorgeous that is, y'all. Yeah! This is nothing special. It's no special technique. It's been around forever. I'm just glazing, except I'm not using a glaze. I'm just using another paint color. So I have chosen, this is fluff. This has been painted in fluff. And I've chosen Hurricane Gray, which is one of my favorite grays by Dixie Belle. And I just dip my brush in a little bit of water, get a little bit wet, then I dip it into my paint, get a lot of paint on my brush, and I just pounce it in to that whole area. All right, I've got the entire thing covered with gray paint. This is what we're going for. This is what it looks like. I'm just gonna take my dry cloth that I've got right here, a dry clean cloth, and I'm just gonna rub off the excess, just like that. Expose the mold. No particular way that you do it. And then I'm gonna take a clean baby wipe. And this is the trick here, guys. And you just start taking off as much of that gray paint that's on the wood as you possibly can. Rub over the mold and just keep doing just like that. This is kind of sloppy here, but let me give you an up close look. This is what it looks like. Give it just a second. And that's what we're going for. I've got my chip brush and just a little bit of water. I dip my brush in some water and then I dip it in my Hurricane Gray paint by Dixie Belle, and I just start pouncing. And I like using my chip brush because it gets down in all those nooks and crannies really well. You want to get it from every angle. You especially want to get way down in between every flower. That's where you want to leave that darker shadow. That's what it's totally covered in gray. It looks like this, and we're going for this. All right, same thing as the other. Got my cloth out, and this one I didn't have to use the baby wipe on. I just, there's not a whole lot of exposed flat area, and I really wanted to leave a lot of the gray. All right, I've done one side of my green now. So this is how we are starting, which actually this is a really pretty look already. But for those that really like that anthropology, vintage sort of grungy look, we're going for that. Isn't that beautiful? So let me show you what I'm using. I'm using a bunch of these waxes. You can see right here on the table. I've got some from Dixie Belle, some from Redesign. They just put a little bit on the end of my finger, just like that. You pick a flower and you just rub it on. This one's kind of pearlized and metallic. It's beautiful. Choose another color. Let's do this blue. Let's move over here to this one. Y'all see that? Okay, when I get really excited, I feel like I'm gonna come undone, and I freaking love this. I love this so much, you guys. This is the best $3.99 that I've probably ever spent. I think this would make an amazing wedding gift. This one especially, and oddly enough, my 12-year-old daughter, she likes this one the best, the white and gray, really simple one. So all I can say is my workbench is a mess. This has been an absolute blast. I've loved taking you guys along for the ride. I know it was a lot of information and a lot to see all at once, back to back, but I just wanted you to see that it's really, really not difficult to come up with something gorgeous when you don't start with very much. And this has been a blast, and thank you, Dixie Belle, for letting me be here. Thank you so much, you guys, to all my new followers. Mwah. Thank you.